I want to talk to you about audiences and how to use audiences and not do something called audience deduping. Now, this is something that used to be a massive issue before campaign budget optimization. So when we used to use our ad set, so every ad set we used to give its own budget, this used to be more of an issue, but it can still be an issue with some of the campaigns that we run now. So I'm going to go over and explain what audience deduping is and explain to you how to avoid it. Basically, what audience deduping is when you are targeting an audience for something and then you are targeting the exact same audience for another ad set. So think about this. We have our campaign over here. And we have ad set 1. This is going to be for our warm audience. Who've engaged on Facebook and Instagram. And this is going to be for our warm audience who have engaged on our website. Now, we would think that those are two different audiences, but if we're running ads at top of funnel that are bringing people through our Facebook page onto our website, this audience and this audience is going to have a really big overlap. So when we're targeting, we're actually targeting very much the same people in these two ad sets. When we were using the old system where we were giving this $10, I'll just change color. When we were giving this $10 and this $10, we used to have a massive issue. Facebook didn't like that, and one of the ad sets would end up starving and only one of them would feed out, and they would, our costs become expensive. There were all sorts of issues that came in when we did this. However, because we're using our campaign budget optimization, what happens now is even though they are the same audience and they're trying to essentially compete against each other, because this has got its own set of ads, this has got its own set of ads, they're essentially competing against each other, but it doesn't really matter because they're sharing the same budget. So what will happen is Facebook will choose this ad here, ad A, to feed out because it's doing really well, and then the people who are seeing the same one, they might see ad F. So instead of competing now, they're actually sharing that audience. So there's no problem with that overlap of audience as long as it's under the same campaign. However, if you are running a traffic campaign here and you have a conversion campaign with the same audience. So this campaign here is traffic. And my second campaign is conversion. And it doesn't have to be conversion, it's just a different campaign. So they could both be traffic campaigns. It's just basically saying it's a new campaign. It's not under the same ad sets. And this one here had ad set that was our warm. If you can read my scrawly handwriting, I'm very sorry. Our warm audience was Facebook and Insta. If we were doing that, then there is an issue, because what's happening is it's no longer sharing the same budget. It's got its own budget that Facebook is trying to feed out. And what that means is these ads and these ads are in direct competition with each other. What that means is if you've got 1,500 pieces of information vying for someone's newsfeed, you've just gone and added another piece of information to get to that newsfeed. The more information that's trying to get into somebody's newsfeed, the more expensive it's going to be to actually get onto that newsfeed. So be really careful where you use your audiences. If you're using audiences that do have a big overlap within the same campaign, so the different ad sets, don't worry about it. We can get around that. But if they are on different ads, different campaigns, so if you're using different objectives, they're in different campaigns, then you have an issue. So be very, very careful and make sure that you do question those. Make sure there isn't a big overlap. Think how you've created your audiences before you use them for the next step of your funnel.